Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you perking good. So, Ukraine and Russia thing. I hope that I'm going to be able to film this without it getting taken down. If it gets taken down, then y'all are probably going to be watching this on another platform other than the main part of the channel on YouTube. So, fingers crossed here. We're fixing to get into this. I know everybody has been firing a lot of questions at me. Last night in my live stream, I did a little short mini reading on this at the very end of my stream, starting at about 52 or 53 minutes in. Pulled, maybe 9 cards or something, not a lot. And only talk for about 5-10 minutes at most. So today we're going to really get into it and dig into all the nitty-gritty details and substance and context that we weren't able to get to last night in the live stream. So we're going to do that. I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and on these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful, so if you're down with that, join the family here. We'd love to have you. And in addition to subscribing and tapping that notification bell, you can become a member of the Perk Squad for 5 extra perks, including extended videos, exclusive videos, video shout outs like this one. Shout out to you, Kelly N. Shout out to you, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Big hugs to you. Thank you. Appreciate having you here. So y'all, let's go ahead and pull up these cards and move this microphone right here. Yeah, we're moving this microphone, and got old Penelope's eyeballs right here. She's here supporting us in her purple. So we're fixing to get into this. As I shuffle up, I'm going to remind folks that in my 2022 predictions video, I remember calling out Russia by name, saying that there was going to be some issues popping off this year majorly. And I mentioned them by name in my 2022 predictions video. So if you haven't seen that, that's here on my channel. I also, in my January predictions video and my February predictions video, mentioned some stuff like this, predicting this. So that's there as well. And then, of course, on my video that I filmed for 2022, more of this came up. The problem with that video is the damn audio was absolutely psychotic, and so a lot of people had a hard time listening to it. Totally understandable. I just felt like I couldn't delete it because you can't just do a tarot reading over again and expect to pull the same cards in the same way. It's just not going to happen. So I had to leave it up with a disclaimer and a profuse apology before that started, but that alluded to some things as well. So we've already got now 3 or 4 of my videos kind of predicting the shit that was happening, and we're seeing all of that come to light. I'll hopefully make a proof video on that at some point in the future if I can get a chance to. I got a lot of jobs here that I'm trying to take on in one. But those are out there for anybody that wants to review them. So today we're just gonna dive into the nitty-gritties about this Russia-Ukraine thing, see what else we can find out, whatever we can, and we'll go from there. So fingers crossed. This is all alleged, just my interpretation. Okay, all alleged, just my interpretation. Alrighty, so let's get into this. Let's just start broad. And ask the spirit guides, what do we need to know about this Russia-Ukraine situation? What do we need to know about it in broad terms? And then we can get into some more details. Okay. Well. So it's very interesting. This card did come up last night in the mini reading that I did on the live stream. So I'm seeing this here as a repeat. That was an overall, and this is an overall. Last night, what the reading said. So what the overall reading said last night when I did the very short, brief 5 or 10 minutes is it said that this whole situation has been a very long time coming, and this whole situation will continue to be a long time going. So I don't see this as being a short, quick, short-lived, speedy type of experience. I see this as something dragging on into Kingdom Come. I also saw a lot of money issues. So I saw a lot of issues to our markets and economies around the world. I saw a lot of money issues in terms of people trying to pay other countries for certain things. Not sure why. There's some sort of strategy in sending money to other countries for certain things. And I saw that as being problematic, an issue. And I see some money things surrounding Russia that was an issue. And I'm just wanting to bring up those money things here because I'm seeing that again here. So already we're getting elements from last night's reading that are coming in to here that I'm seeing again, coming in here. Last night we also got our typical President Biden card, which was the King of Cups, and it was in the upright position, suggesting that he had good intentions and was trying to do what he would consider to be the right thing, and that overall he was going to be making some good moves in this. But I do have some other questions that we'll probably get into about that. Because of this kind of energy, this balancing type of energy, just balancing act and kind of how we're going to figure things out from there. In last night's reading, I know I'm just doing a recap here, but I'm tying things together, especially for those of you who haven't had a chance to look at last night's reading, just so you won't have to go back. I'm trying to save you some time here. So I also saw that when this is all said and done, quite a while from now, and all the dust has settled, so to speak, there will be some resolve to this situation, but you can't put the horse back in the stable. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. There's certain things that are going to be past the point of no return. And so even if there will be resolve, it won't be quote unquote right or the same, if that makes sense. I also saw in last night's reading, and this is kind of going around this Empress card that we're seeing right here, and this Star card right here, when I'm talking about how that resolve will come, these cards right here are reminding me of that reading last night. I am also seeing that people asked about other countries, and I was seeing other countries being like, we don't want to go down with this ship. We don't want to sink on the Titanic. Okay? And so I didn't see as big or doomsday of a spread and chaos, at least right now, in things because of people being like, I'm avoiding that. I'm not sinking with that motherfucking ship. And so this is a lot. It's a very complicated situation. I'm going to try to be doing this with as much respect as I can and as much compassion as I can. But I'm a girl reading cards. So, there's that. But these are things that I'm seeing, cards that I'm seeing that are already reminding me of last night's overview reading. And that gives you some insights as to what I saw last night when I was looking into this. The additional things, however, that I am seeing right here that we didn't get to last night, and I've already seen them right here. This Seven of Swords is an interesting little bastard to be popping up right here. Very interesting. And right next to this Emperor in reverse. An Emperor card is always about someone who thinks of themselves as this Emperor, as this big, powerful figure. And they're very dominating and very controlling. I feel like, I usually don't like to name call in these videos, except for when I feel like I know there's no way they're speaking about somebody else, like last night when they were speaking about President Biden. I knew that. That's his card. It comes up a lot, that King of Cups. Here, come on, y'all. Vladimir Putin. Right here. And he's right next to this Seven of Swords. This is someone who's being very sneaky. This is someone who has a major agenda. It's obvious as to why this would be coming up like this right now. It is obvious. What we're seeing next to it, though, with this Fool card upright, this is like, fuck it, I'm just going to take the leap. I'm just going to jump for it. I'm just going to go there. So he's feeling very confident, very cocky, very much in fuck it mode. Very much so. Very much so. So let's get some context up on this to see what kind of details we can get here. Taking in mind, we did that overall reading last night, very briefly, and now we're wanting to get details. So we know about an overall, but now we want some details. So let's see what we can find out based on this. And again, just my interpretation. Alrighty, so let's get some context up on this sneaking card. Ooh, Four of Swords. He has thought about this for a long time. So people say, oh, there's been tensions between them for a long time, whatever. Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, he's been thinking about strategy for a long time. What they're putting in my head is, if anybody has seen on Netflix that that show that was filmed in Spain, that like money heist show, Casa de Papel in Spain, about the Bank of Spain and all of that kind of stuff. If y'all have seen that on Netflix, they're putting that in my mind about how the professor and his brother Berlin were coming up with this plan, and they were coming up with this plan over a long period of time, and they were coming up with strategy for this plan. Like, if this happens, then this is how we'll handle it, and then if this happens, this is what we'll do. Here's our contingency plan for this, and here's our strategy for this. Like, that level of detail, he's got that. He's got that here. That's what they're putting in my head. Putin has got that level of detail. So I'm talking, if anybody, whether it's Ukraine, the US, anybody comes up with something that they feel like they're going to do based on this, he's already thought that out and thought that through, from what I can tell here, which is a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie. It's a little intimidating. So take in mind, remember that yesterday's overall reading said we end overall fairly positively, and this isn't as bad and ugly of a spread as it could be. So the overall last night was that the spirit guides did not want us to spiral out in our fear projections and build something by virtue of all of our fear to where we contribute to something on an energetic level towards an outcome that we don't want. So I want to remind us of that as we're going through this and saying things that do come off sounding intimidating. I want to remind us of that underpinning, because that's where the guides were wanting us to go with that. So, but let's get a little bit more context up into this. Alrighty, so here, enter stage left or enter stage right, this guy in the upright position who has good intentions in this. Okay, who are you? Somebody who thinks very positively and feels like they will be able to contribute to this in a way that's going to be helpful and get what people want and extend some sort of olive branch. So there is somebody out there, it looks like a male energy, could be a very, very ambitious female energy, but it's looking like a male energy. Somebody that's quote unquote one of the good guys, that's got some ideas here about how to work with this, some strategies about, okay, let's think about this. If we want something to stop, or if we want something to not go beyond this point, or we want something to not get worse, what do we need to do to work with this? I don't necessarily want to say it's a step or a move that would say appease Putin, but kinda. What I mean by that is not saying, oh, this is what he wants, just give him what he wants. It's not like that. It's more like, listen, from a level-headed and smart way, strategically, if we do this, this might be the opposite of poking the bear. and this could be a good move. So let's just consider it. And I see someone brainstorming something like that. So we may see a move like that come onto the table at some point in the future as this unfolds. And again, last night, it mentioned that this would be a slow evolution of things, that this isn't going to be a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am type of thing, a slow evolution of things. But that doesn't mean that just because the long thing here, the overall is long, overall is slow, it doesn't mean that there won't be a few boom action moment, and then boom another thing, and then boom another thing. It doesn't mean that there won't be some action items happening throughout. It just means the overall, in a broad picture sense, is going to look strung out here from what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's get some extra context up on this. In terms of questions, let me pull this up because I have some questions. I have questions that I want us to pose here. To get some insights, to get some details. So let's see what we can look into here while I get this shoved up. I want to see, I know people here in my comment section on other videos have asked about the U.S. with this, about how, about U.S. involvement in this, or, what we have done or might do or could do, or anything around that might pertain to the U.S. I do want to carve out just a few little minutes to see if we can get some U.S. specific stuff, and don't tune out international viewers, because as we know, when the U.S. decides to do something, say something, or have some part of something, it tends to affect y'all as well, fortunately or unfortunately. So we're gonna put that down there. And again, this is all just my interpretation, okay? I'm just a girl looking at cards. Ooh, okay. Well, that one fell out. So we're going to take that. So anything that we need to know about the U.S. in this, spirit guides? Here we go again with that Empress card. It came up last night. It came up in the first pull. Now, after shuffling a ton and in between each pull like this, it came up again. So is that not nuts? Does this one have more than one on it? No. Okay. Very interesting. Are we serious? Hold on a minute. All right. Let me get some damn context on you. Seriously, hold on. Okay, context on you. I'm getting a little nervous here. Fuck. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to think about how I could say this that might not get this, removed from the platform. And again, if I end up having to put this on somewhere else, like the Perk Squad or on Patreon or something like that, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do exactly what y'all ask, but YouTube may or may not let me. Just being honest, YouTube may or may not let me. I'm gonna be honest. Seeing these cards here that I got context on over here, this 4, I don't like seeing this here, because this looks like the U.S. has made some mistakes that kind of set this ball in motion. I don't want to say that this is our fault per se, but we didn't help keep this from happening, is what this looks like. All alleged, just my interpretation. I'm just a girl reading damn cards, okay? I am not a politician. I am not a military person or war strategist or anybody like that. I don't know shit, okay? I'm reading cards. But this looks like there's something that we've been kind of going at it in a way that, this is a messenger card, y'all. Messenger card. Going at it. So it looks like we might have been, I just used a second ago saying poke the bear. We may have poked the bear some kind of way. I don't know how. I don't know what the hell we would have done. I don't know. Did we make Putin mad? mad, or did we do, like, I don't know what we did, but there's something here that shows that we were kind of in some sort of like communication type of way, that we have contributed to this by virtue of doing something over time. This is kind of like more of kind of us starting off and communicating, but this is a physical doing of something, and it's kind of sneaky and kind of behind the scenes. And so it's almost, okay, this is hard. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to see this. I'm trying to explain this. I don't know why. I don't know why we would have done something like that. You know, you would think like, oh, it was an accident. You did this and you didn't mean to. And that's possible. It's possible it was an accident. But when you get this shifty card, you saw this shifty card come up a while ago for Putin himself. Like, that card doesn't usually come up on people who just accidentally did something wrong. This card comes up if you do something wrong and you kind of knowingly were doing that. Now, that being said, the picture that they're giving me in my mind, let's take this back old school to where you were growing up with your siblings, or if you were an only child, say you had friends or family members, cousins or something around, and say you knowingly were like, hey, let's fuck with, Janet over there, and let's just do this to her and this to her and this to her, and you knowingly were doing that, but then Janet was like, bruh, and she did something. Whoa, okay, hold on, calm down, chill out. It was just a joke, or it was just, a game, or we were just trying to do this, or we didn't think it was that serious, or we're just, we're just trying to, whatever, that kind of thing. It could be something like that, where you're doing something that you want to do, you're being deliberate about it, you know what you're doing, it is something that you want because you have something that you think you're going to get out of it, but then it blows up in your face and you realize you got to backtrack and double back. There is a feeling kind of like that here on the U.S. side in terms of leading up to this. I don't know how the hell that fits into this. I don't know enough about politics and enough about foreign affairs and shit like that to know what in the world the U.S. could have been doing or saying behind the scenes over time to try to get something that they wanted, that they thought they were either helping or doing something right, or, it made sense to them or whatever. And then now this is kind of the in-your-face ramifications of having done that, and they may not have expected that reaction. May or may not have expected that reaction. I don't know, but that's weird. I'm going to leave that there because I don't know, and I'm nervous about taking that too far here because I'm already feeling like they're gonna take this down. So, damn. That being said, remember how we got this Empress card already now? This is the third go, if I'm counting last night as one of them. This is the third go. And this was the one that was saying overall things were going to ultimately end up okay. But it's not without crossing a point of no return first, which means, you can't have take backsies. I see the U.S. involved in whatever that, final ending, whatever thing is. I see the U.S. involved in that. I see it bringing in multiple components of things. So not just one strategy, not just one action or thought behind it. I see it being multiple layers of things. I see it taking a while because, again, this is our slowest night in the deck. I see it taking a while. And in terms of how it ends, the Sun card upright is the best card in the deck. When it's in reverse, it's not the worst card in the deck. It's just like not where it could be. It's kind of like we could have had this. It could have been like that. and somehow we got wrapped up into things, and this is where it went, really? You know, like, when things come up and we're like, you know, that was avoidable, or that was preventable, or this could be handled this way, or why'd you have to do that? You know, those kinds of things. Like, it's good that there's a resolve, and so people are happy about that, but it doesn't take away the substance, if that makes sense. So that's again what we were kind of seeing last night. I'm seeing that here again. I'm seeing the US take part in this, whatever way that is. I'm seeing this take time, but them having some part to play in this. And I see it a multi-layered approach, more than just one thing that they take on to enact that. So interestingly enough, too, in terms of taking on multiple approaches, with this card, as you can see in here, some things look really nice. Ooh, beautiful jewels. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful jewels. Is that a dragon, though? Is that a fucking snake, though? So not everything in here is good. So it looks like some of the things the U.S. might do in this situation, in this circumstance, would be positive, would be successful, would be good. And similarly, some of the things that the US does or doesn't do, that just got put in my head. Some of the things the US does or doesn't do could be a bad move. Oh, that's interesting. What do we mean what we don't do? So, the guides gave me that. They're all sneaky. What does that mean? What they don't do. So there's something, we might be holding back on something in the U.S. in terms of how we manage this. There might be something that's held back that could have been a good thing to do, and it gets held back. And they're giving me a feeling of, why does it get held back? Well, why aren't they doing this? You know, they should just directly go off and do this. Why aren't they doing this? 'Cause of this, y'all. 'Cause of this. Oh, we can't do this because we, you know, like, it's kind of like, again, back to that example of you teasing Janet and then Janet blows up on you. It's kind of like, now that Janet blew up, like, what are you going to do? Go tattletale to mom and say, Mom, Janet blew up on me and she hurt my feelings. Then what is Janet going to say? Yeah, well, you know why I blew up on you? Because you did X, Y, Z. Crap. I didn't want mom to know that. You know, so I don't want to tattletale, because if I tattletale, mom will find out what I did. You know, like, there's some kind of a feeling like that in here. Oh, shit. We got to move on from this. I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm nervous. We're moving on from this. I did not expect to see this. We're going to go to a different point here. Cause what the hell? Okay, let's broaden this back out here. Let me shuffle these back up. Ooh, let's shuffle these back up. All right, so we looked a little bit at the U.S. Now let's broaden it up, go back out, you know, spanning it a little bit more internationally to include other countries, in terms of other countries, you know, involvement in this, around this, after this, how they're going to handle this, you know, shit like that. Let's get a little bit of insights around that. And I've been going for almost a half hour, so if I end up needing to, after this, I might end up asking the rest of the remaining questions on the Perk Squad as an extended video, just so I don't end up having this be a bajillion hours long. I haven't done an extended video this week yet, so could probably do that for the Perk Squad folks. But this one, let's do this question here. So the overall, you know, rest of the world, not just singling out the U.S., in terms of kind of their actions, efforts, connection, involvement, reactions, etc. in this, and what we might see here. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Oh, I asked about the rest of the world, and here they go off giving me Biden's card again, President Biden's card again, that they gave me last night. Still in the upright position they're giving me for him overall. So doesn't mean okay, wow. All right, mind, mouth, same speed. Mind, mouth, same speed. So, all right, y'all. I know we're asked about the rest of about everybody outside of the U.S., and that is here, but I'm just going to draw attention to this. The Biden card, President Biden, upright, that we saw last night, but it's right next to the same card y'all saw me shuffle 8 bajillion times. That same card about the whole doing some things well, but some things not well, and maybe the absence of things that we should be doing that would be good for a certain reason as well. And we're putting Biden right next to it, President Biden right next to that. So it's giving him overall in the upright, but it's saying that there are some things he has done and will do that are quite positive and effective here. And yet there are some things that he will do and also won't do that are going to be problems here. And that is interesting that they slid that in. And they slid it into the one we're asking about international, because as I mentioned a second ago, international folks get affected by shit we do here. For better or worse, it tends to happen that way. Whew. So, in terms of international, we've got this 8 of Wands. It is an international card. It is a travel card. It is also a communication card in terms of I'm communicating what I think about this, what I say about this, what my plan is about this. And look, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. It looks like this is a chain reaction, one at a time, a chain reaction. I come forward as a country and our country stance is this. 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 And so on and so forth. Chain reaction. Boom, 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 boom. So it looks like we're going to have this chain reaction of countries coming forward, announcing their stance, putting their foot down, saying what they're gonna do, providing that thing one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. The interesting part about that is there are gonna be some countries that are like, I wanna wrangle this. I need to be in control of this. I want to wrangle this. And so to be in control of this and wrangle this, what am I going to do? This is a very impulsive card, and this is a card of not thinking things through, which goes very hand in hand. These go hand in hand. Impulsive, not thinking these through. I want to wrangle this. There will be some countries that have a bit of a knee jerk here to in reaction to this. And I don't know if that is the best thing to do, but at least some of these are in the upright position. So I feel like of the countries that have some knee-jerk reactions to this, I'm seeing a lot of that actually go kind of well. Like knee-jerk reaction, this, what is the word that they're throwing around now? Sanction, this sanction, or knee-jerk reaction, this, whatever. Like I see a lot of that going well. We have some uprights here. But the ones that don't think it through, that could be a backfire event as well. Because remember, at the very beginning of this, we saw Putin had thought this through as thoroughly as the professor in Berlin in Casa de Papel. Okay? Thoroughly, money heist over here. Thoroughly thought things through, piece by piece by piece. So if we have anybody that has a moment like this, we can't afford to have a moment like this. But we might. Let me pause right quick, just first of all to say all alleged, just my interpretation, and also to remind everyone, in tarot readings, what we are looking at here is everything in tarot readings are potentials. They're all potentials. What we see here are all potentials. And when we're looking at potentials, we're looking here at the most quote unquote opaque potential. So pretend you're looking at things, and this is very translucent. This is more opaque. This is even more opaque based on what has the most energy behind it. And so right now, my potential that has the most energy behind it, the most opaque potential, is that I'm going to finish this reading for y'all. That has the most potential behind it. But technically, I have other choices. I can go fucking take a swim. I can go outside and piss in my yard in public in front of people. You know, I could go drive to McDonald's and take a dump on their counter. You know, I could do any number of things, but the thing that has the most energy behind it, which is most likely, is that I'm going to finish this reading. These cards show me the energy that has the most behind it, the most opaque potential there is. So, do other potentials exist in everything that we're looking at here? Yes, other potentials exist. Is there a chance that at some point in time, the potentials that we're seeing right here and right now could somehow start to lose energy behind them and another potential start to gain more energy behind it, to where potential shift, and now boom, we're on a different I don't want to say timeline, but different path, because the path's shifted based on people making big different decisions than what they're currently making now. Is that possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. But is it possible? Yes. So I want to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you hear nothing else, keep that in mind. If you see people writing shit in the comments below, acting like they don't understand that, very politely give them a, Tarot for Dummies 1.0 version. So, just want to throw that out there based on what we're seeing. So let's get a little bit more about this international stuff, a little bit more context about this international stuff. Let's see. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. One at a time, cards, one at a time. There we go with that one again. Up there. There we go with that card again. That one came out last night in our mini reading. Okay. So, last night in our mini reading, when we got our little hangman guy, this is the one that was saying it's a long time coming and it's still going to go for a long time. This echoes that. This is the watched pot never boils. Damn, I'm looking at that stove. When will that pot of water boil? I want to put my rice in. Shit. Whatever. Over and over and over and over. Like, I see that this is something that's taking time. One reason why it's taking time, we get the Six of Pentacles again. Again, remember, this is coming up for money, balance, support, things like that. Y'all, it feels like, and I'm just saying, it feels like Russia is going to be looking to get some additional support. I don't know who might do that, but it looks like some potential for connecting up for additional support. So if there's, some other country or some other leader that might be willing to give some sort of support, I see some sort of, linking up there of, hey, I'll feed you this, I'll feed you this kind of thing. I'm seeing some potential there. So I'm seeing things take a while because it's like we act on something, but just because, the U.S. or other countries lay down their stance and they're going one at a time, laying out their plans or their thoughts, it doesn't mean we're not going to get additional things to have to respond to. Because here, this is kind of like making some kind of a fast decision. So it feels like there's going to be some sort of switch up in Putin's plans. So what I mean by that, again, remember, going back to that whole money heist situation on Netflix, that show. Going back to that show, remember how I was saying, the professor in the Berlin would say, contingency plan. If this happens, we're going to enact this plan. If this happens, we're going to go this route. I'm seeing him Putin shifting, part way through on his ideas or plans. I see him making some shifts. He has contingency plans, and I see him making some shifts. So I see him reaching out for some support. I see him, having some sort of connections. I see him shifting his plans and shifting his focus. It is not clear right now to what. So I don't know if it means currently his focus is this, and in 3 weeks he will shift his focus to this one. No, right now it's like, listen, he could do this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, or this thing based on how stuff goes. It's like a big chess game based on how things go. And I see him shifting to take this detour if this thing happens, or shifting to take this detour if that thing happens. So I see him shifting around and making some different moves. And so what he does has a lot to do with what all of us do, all of us other countries do in this waiting game, in this time, and has a lot to do with the support that he could secure. It has a lot to do there. So in other words, how do I put this? The quote unquote entire, if we want to use the word war, has a certain way that it looks like overall at the very end of the day, long time coming, this is kind of how things will overall shake out across the world. And that looks like there will be resolve, but in a way that doesn't necessarily feel good, doesn't necessarily feel like a great win, is past the point of no return where we can't get the genie back in the bottle, but there will be some sort of a resolve. But again, this is a long time coming, whatever, this is not soon. That's the overall war. That part looks like it's mostly right now from the cards already lined up to kind of resolve in whatever that way is. But the details of how we get there are not yet ironed out, it looks like here. The details of how we get there, from what I'm seeing here, looks like there is still a lot of room for free will choices for things to change. So it's kind of like this. Think about it this way. When you go to college, say you're going to college, your entire outcome is that you will most likely get a degree. You will most likely graduate and get a degree. Is it possible you may change majors? Yes. Is it possible that if you change majors, you might start changing classes? Yes. Is it possible that you might start these classes, withdraw from those classes, choose different electives? Yes. But at the end of the day, the goal is we come out with a degree, right? That's what I'm seeing here in terms of outcome from this. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the overall take a long time and have some sort of resolve here that is overall positive, but it doesn't negate what all happened during it, and it doesn't necessarily make any of that feel better, but it does decidedly finish itself some sort of a way in an overall okay, manner. But all the fucking details around that are still very up for grabs here. Very up for grabs because of all his contingency plans. Just putting that out there. Because we've got a lot of power moves left, and we've always got something up our sleeve. I call this little kitty Great Mystery. I just named him myself because that's what I like. And it's like we've got this little great mystery here up our sleeve. We've got this little thing up our sleeve. And y'all, with this death card in reverse, this feels like at some point there's going to be changes in leadership in, I'd say, more than one country. So I don't know if this is changes in leadership as in this person's no longer a president of whatever country and now this other person is, or changes as in, listen, we had this leadership team that was running the show on this, and now we need to change out this leadership team because of this, and we're going to shift that up. It could be a leadership approach or strategy rather than leadership as in specific individuals, but it could be specific individuals. And I see there being a shift up, a change up, up in more than just one country throughout this entire process with this. So this is a lot. I've been talking for like 45 minutes, so I'm going to do an extended on the Perk Squad. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can book in my description box below, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, and schedule a private reading with me. I'm going to pull some more cards here, and post that as an extended video on the Perk Squad. Again, you can click the blue join button below, or there's a link in the description box that you can copy and paste into a web browser if you want to join the Perk Squad to get any kind of extras on this. I have been going already for 45 minutes here, so this is a lot. I need to roll on over there. All alleged, just my interpretation, just a girl reading damn cards in a crazy situation where potentials could be changing at any moment. So there we go. All right, y'all, I'm coming at you, Perk Squad. Everybody else, don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. I'm about to put some puppies on the end of this to give us some lightheartedness. Puppies on the end of this. All right. Bye, y'all. Yeah. This is what it's like when we have Fox, but we're in playpen. Teddy, get down. Jesus. Teddy. But this is what it's like when we have Fox in playpen. Yeah, so we still like to bring Fox. We just have to do it differently. Yeah. Just have to do it differently. But you still bring Fox. Yeah, you still bring Fox. You're okay. Stay in there. Stay in there. You gotta lay down. Scoot, get out of your butthole. Hey. You don't have to suck it like a fucking push pop. No, shh. You're okay. You're okay. Just bury it. Tuck it in. There we go. We're tucking. Good job, Bodie. Yeah, tuck. No, we gotta tuck it. Tuck it in. You can tuck. Oh, goodness, son.